Cannes Yachting Festival 2023, and we're live streaming with Thomas, one of the founders of Sialia, which you can see the boat behind us. We filmed the yachts a few weeks ago,
Yes.
Published the video last week, and people are definitely very curious about an electric yacht. So we thought we'd do this live stream, giving Thomas the opportunity to answer some of your questions. Because we're in a boat show at the moment, there's a fair bit of noise in the background. I'm always cautious to know whether. So if anybody who's watching can just leave me a comment. If you can't hear us, just write in the comments that you can't hear us. If you can, please confirm that you can. But I thought, Thomas, a good way to start this live stream would be for you just telling me where the idea came about to have an electric yacht and what you think the advantages are of it.
First of all, the idea is from Stan, my business partner. When a few years ago we met together, and Stan's background is last 20 years in development of mostly heavy-duty lithium-ion batteries for different applications like buses, trams, trains, this sort of stuff. And we both are sailors. We love sailing on a sailing boat, and it was Stan's decision that okay, let's look at the project to make electric power boat. We started with electric catamaran, 62 footer, and it was the moment when people were starting to looking at solar cuts. We've done simple maths. We decided that it's not really super optimal to have a solar cut, and it's not really our aim to compete with super slow boats.
Yeah.
So we decided to design and engineer electric catamaran that can go like 30 knots. This is how it started. So we started designing, and it was in the end 62 footer carbon epoxy bank, like 500 kilowatt hours and 2 times 250 kilowatts of continuous power with 100 kilowatt range extender. So on range extender you will be able to do like 15 knots.
Yeah.
And we've done this project.
Yeah.
In parallel, Stan was looking at monohull, and he told me that I think about the monohull. So I looked briefly at what's the design brief with slightly bigger power platform, and I said, actually, it is possible. Let's look at the project of a powerboat. So having catamaran done on paper, actually not only on paper, we put quite a lot of effort into doing this in a nice way. I organized other people like Vripak, Denis Popov, to design and engineer entirely the boat in carbon as a monohull. And this is how Sialia has born. And then there was a moment of a decision. Okay, so what do we do actually to make it? Instead of going like everybody going into catamarans, we said a catamaran for us is relatively easy, let's say. So we decided let's do something which is much more difficult, but has a bigger perspective long term, because for every single monohull in the world, you have like 10 power boats.
Yep.
And here we were able to put much higher power, which suits much bigger projects in future as well. So this is the moment where we decided, okay, let's build Sialia.
Great. Good news is Colin Chafers from Thailand has said loud and clear.
Perfect.
So thanks for, I don't know what time it is in Thailand, Colin, but Colin's a regular viewer of the channel, so thanks for the confirmation. I want to get right into some of the questions that we had to the video, because some of them are quite aggressive. And I've found this before with videos that I've done of new technology. Mm-hmm. First of all, there's huge skepticism. Stage at the moment because it's a new product. People need to know about it, and this is your chance. So let me find one of the questions that I saw. Okay, Ali Savas 9526, very nice looking boat. Is there stabilizers
on this boat? It's not installed at the moment, but there is an option to have a gyroscope on board, and everything is basically in there. It's just not installed because during usage of the boat, so Stan, my business partner, said, okay, it's not necessary for the time being. Boat is sailing well enough without this. We have this option, and most likely it will be installed, I don't know, probably after the shows.
Okay. That will be some technical study that needs to go into that, because the gyros take quite a lot of power. And also they weigh quite a lot. So I guess that will be a challenge on it.
I wouldn't, in general, yes, but because boat was designed including gyro from the very beginning, so we included this. And during the even when we were sailing together, boat was quite loaded because we had all the stuff that is here on the stand. So it was already loaded. So the performance that you have seen, they were in full tank and all of the stuff. So we were not playing like some of the people suggested to me, Thomas, just try the tank, keep it super light, go 28 and like that. We're not really afraid of this. So putting gyro, yeah, it will add like 500 kilos, but still it is an option that is like it's ready to go.
Yeah. Now, he had more to his question. Apart from the stabilizers, he said the hull is not big enough to accommodate solar panels. So I'm guessing the idea is to charge the batteries with shore power and top up if and when necessary from the onboard generator. Is that correct?
Yes, what we've done in here, we've done again calculations before designing and engineering, and we're looking at solar panels. First of all, for this boat, and even for bigger boats, solar panels, they produce relatively little power if you want to have this kind of a luxury boat where you have quite a lot of fridges and AC. And in general systems. When you look at the size of the battery bank, 256 kilowatt hours, it's a massive bank for regular user. So there was no point in our case to put more solar panels. We decided to have this retractable roof, which we believe is a cooler option for the end user like us. Yeah, this is how we use the boat. And then when we go to marina, depends on what is available at the charging socket. We have option like in here in Cannes, it's quite limited. We get only 10 kilowatts. On board, charging from AC on this boat is 22 kilowatts. But she can take as well fast charging from DC, 150 kilowatts maximum. This is what we put on this boat because this is the maximum that you can find at the Côte d'Azur. But our biggest charger is actually this variable RPM generator, which can generate up to 390 kilowatts.
And with that, you can recharge the batteries in 45 minutes.
Yes,
correct?
yes, correct. And this is number which is like tested.
Yeah.
This is
And
because
that's impressive. 45 minutes is very
yes, and this is the power that we've tested because then what amount of power you actually do, it's really variable, depends on what is the state of charge, temperature, and so on, and voltage. There is quite a lot of sophisticated, complex parameters behind. So it's not like always you have 390. At the very beginning, it's a bit more. At the end, it's a bit less because you're getting really to the top. So yes, 45 minutes, 0 to 100%.
Now, I have a question that everybody wants to ask, and I'm going to read it to you. But first of all, let's acknowledge, 'cause I think this lady here might be Polish.
Yes, Kasia.
Is that your wife? She put a little love heart and a boat sign.
Not really, but yes, she works in office.
Oh, okay. Hi, Kasia. So thanks for tuning in. So here's the question from Studio Bobo, but a lot of people ask the question. He says, from an engineering point of view, it's difficult to establish the noteworthy specifications. I'm not sure what he means by that, but he says, hence the omission of all important range. And it's true, I didn't talk about the range in the video.
Yes.
And by the way, that was my omission, not Thomas's. So can you tell us about what range can be expected?
Yes, I've done this short calculations in here based on the true data on the boat. Yeah. So at 8 we have 28 nautical miles. At 16 knots we have 11, and 20 we have 8 nautical miles on pure battery range. And then when we go to range extender mode, and this is how this boat was designed and made all around making boat with range extender. We go like 250, 280 nautical miles. And again, when you turn on generator, you go into planning speed, and then during your journey, tank level is going down, boat is getting lighter, it's getting more efficient, and so on. So measured is 280.
So take me through that again. I know that people can wind back and then replay it, but what were the ranges that you just told me? Let's say them one more time.
Yes. So at 8, there's 28 nautical miles
Okay,
on
so
pure
8
battery.
knots, 28 nautical miles.
Yes. Then
Just on battery.
at 16 there's 11, and at 25 there's 8 nautical miles.
So it's a great boat as a day cruise, isn't it? To
Yes,
go out
this
for
is
the day,
this is
enjoy
this
yourself.
is exactly like that. And here during the Cannes Yacht show, what we do, we actually operate this boat only in the morning and end of the show. So this time is sufficient for us to do around 1 hour of sea trials.
Yeah. In fact, Indigo Colossus says an electric 1 to 2 day sport boat will be a good application, I think. They said never having you. I don't know what that means, but yeah, 1 today, 2 day. By the way, Stan has arrived. Stan, can you fit on the sofa? Let's see. Yeah, we can get 3 people on here.
Hi.
So if you've watched the video, which I guess most people watching this will have seen the video, Thomas is the structural engineer. Stan supplied the experience with battery power and electrics. Now, still with Indigo, he says to fill up and attractive for densely populated area. So let's talk for a moment about charging the batteries. We've said that the generator, the range extender, is 45 minutes. What about shore power in the
Maximum shore power found. It's quite